Hello, movie lovers! What happens when an ordinary American teacher accidentally falls in love with the future king of a European kingdom? Maggie travels to Cernia hoping for a simple vacation, but one damaged hat leads her to a mysterious stranger named Adrian. She soon discovers that he is not only a charming man hiding his identity, he is the crown prince preparing to inherit the throne. Their romance quickly becomes a national scandal as royal traditions, demanding parents, and the entire media try to separate them. Now Maggie must choose between a secure legal career in America and a life of love, purpose, and unexpected responsibility beside a king. Can their love truly rewrite royal tradition? Come on, friends, let's begin. The story opens in the United States, where Maggie is introduced as a bright young woman with a law degree and a completely different passion. Although she is qualified to work as an attorney, what she truly loves is teaching children. She currently works in a classroom and finds real purpose there, but money is becoming a problem. With bills piling up, Maggie reluctantly applies for a position at her father's law firm. She attends the interview without much confidence because she wants to earn the opportunity on her own, not receive it as a favor. Later, Maggie meets her best friend Sarah at a restaurant. Sarah suggests they escape their routines and take a vacation to the small European kingdom of Cernia. Maggie is tired, frustrated, and ready for something different, so she agrees. When she tells her parents, her mother supports the trip and believes the change of scenery will help her relax. Her father strongly disagrees. He wants Maggie to forget teaching, focus on law, and follow the career path he considers practical. He even offers to call the firm and guarantee her job before the official decision is announced. Maggie refuses. She tells him that if she gets the position, she wants it to be because she earned it. Eventually, her mother convinces him to let Maggie take the trip. Across the ocean, Prince Adrian is preparing to inherit the throne after his father's death. His coronation is approaching, and the entire palace is focused on appearances, tradition, and control. During breakfast, Adrian tells his mother, Queen Patricia, that he wants ordinary citizens to attend the celebration. He believes a king should connect with the people he serves. The queen rejects the idea because public participation goes against royal custom. She also criticizes Adrian's reputation, reminding him that sneaking out of the palace and appearing at parties with women is not how a future king should behave. Adrian listens, but he clearly feels trapped by a life designed for him by everyone else. Maggie and Sarah soon arrive in Cernia and begin exploring the capital. At a fountain in the town square, Sarah makes a wish and invites Maggie to join a guided tour. Maggie prefers wandering alone and promises to return to the hotel before dinner. While she is walking, a gust of wind sends her hat into the street. A man on a motorcycle rides over it without stopping. Maggie is furious, but the stranger later returns with the hat cleaned and also gives back a watch he accidentally picked up. The rider is Adrian, though Maggie has no idea he is the prince. When she asks how he managed to clean the hat so quickly, he jokes that he used magic. Their irritation turns into playful chemistry, and Adrian asks her to meet him at the fountain that evening. Back at the hotel, Maggie tells Sarah about the mysterious man. A little girl named Katia enters the lobby and tries to sell Maggie a souvenir. A staff member attempts to throw the girl out, accusing her of bothering guests. Maggie immediately defends Katia, buys the souvenir, and makes it clear that the child deserves kindness. Sarah notices how naturally Maggie connects with children. Although Maggie is unsure about meeting Adrian, Sarah convinces her to go and even accompanies her at first. After realizing Adrian seems respectful, Sarah leaves them alone. Adrian takes Maggie to a cafe. The waiter nearly addresses him as Your Highness, but Adrian quietly signals him to behave as though he is an ordinary customer. During their conversation, Maggie explains that her father keeps pressuring her to become a lawyer, even though teaching children makes her happy. Adrian admits that his own mother controls nearly every decision in his life. Their shared frustration creates an immediate bond. Maggie asks about his family, and Adrian vaguely says they are involved in business. He does not reveal the truth. By the end of the evening, Both want to see each other again. The next morning, an extravagant breakfast is delivered to Maggie and Sarah's room with a note from Adrian. Maggie begins wondering who he really is. The hotel staff refuses to explain, only saying that Adrian comes from a good family. Maggie meets him again, and they spend the day walking through the city, sharing stories, and growing closer. Their time is interrupted when Adrian's assistant, Felix, calls and orders him back to the palace. The truth comes out the following day when Maggie and Sarah visit a museum. They see portraits of Adrian and Queen Patricia and realize the charming stranger is actually the crown prince. Maggie searches for him online and finds sensational articles describing him as a reckless womanizer who lies to women and pretends to be ordinary. Feeling betrayed, she confronts him. Adrian admits he hid his identity, but insists he only wanted her to know him as a person before judging his title. Maggie accuses him of playing games. Instead of arguing, Adrian asks Maggie to come somewhere private so he can show her the truth. He takes her to a center filled with children and introduces her to Felix. While Adrian joins the children in a volleyball game, Felix explains that Adrian secretly created and funds the entire foundation. Even the royal family does not fully understand how much time and money he devotes to it. Maggie realizes the tabloids have painted an incomplete picture. She also meets Kadia again and learns the girl lives at the center. Kadia is shy and struggles to connect with the other children, but Maggie encourages her to perform on stage. With Maggie's support, Kadia finally sings in front of everyone. Adrian watches and becomes even more impressed by Maggie's compassion. Adrian invites her to dinner at the royal palace because he wants her to understand the world he lives in. Queen Patricia has already learned about Maggie and ordered guards to investigate her background. At dinner, Adrian formally introduces Maggie to his mother and the royal family. The atmosphere is tense. The Queen dislikes Maggie's independence, especially when Maggie supports Adrian's desire to modernize the coronation and include the public. After dinner, Patricia tells Adrian to end the relationship. Adrian refuses and admits that he loves Maggie. He goes to Maggie's hotel, asks her to come outside, and finally tells her how deeply he feels. Maggie confesses that she loves him too. Hidden nearby, a photographer captures them together. By morning, their pictures cover newspapers and websites across the country. Reporters swarm the hotel. Queen Patricia is furious, while Maggie's father calls from America and demands that she return immediately. Adrian asks Maggie to travel to Paris with him for a few days, hoping they can escape the pressure. Maggie refuses because everything has become too overwhelming. The next day, Maggie receives a call from the law firm confirming that she got the job. The offer should make her happy, but it forces her to choose between the stable career waiting at home and the man she loves in Cernia. After struggling with the decision, Maggie decides to return to the United States. Adrian is heartbroken, yet he does not pressure her to stay. Before leaving, Maggie visits Queen Patricia and tells her about Adrian's foundation. The Queen had assumed her son cared only about parties and romance, but Maggie explains that he has quietly devoted himself to vulnerable children. Patricia visits the center with Felix and sees the truth for herself. Watching Adrian's work changes her perspective. She regrets judging him so harshly and finally agrees to allow ordinary citizens to attend the coronation. While Maggie is packing, an invitation to the coronation arrives. She initially refuses to go, but Sarah convinces her that leaving without seeing Adrian one last time would become a lifelong regret. Queen Patricia then visits Maggie personally. She apologizes for her behavior, admits that she pressured Adrian unfairly, and offers Maggie a position at the Children's Foundation. The opportunity would allow Maggie to remain in Cernia while doing the work she genuinely loves. Maggie realizes she no longer has to choose between love and purpose. She accepts. At the coronation, the palace is surrounded not only by nobles, but also by ordinary citizens, families, and children from Adrian's foundation. Adrian steps forward and is officially crowned king. Then Maggie enters. He is stunned to see her and cannot hide his happiness. After the ceremony, he asks whether she has come only to say goodbye or whether she plans to stay. Maggie tells him that she accepted a job at the foundation and wants to build a life beside him. She confesses her love again, this time without fear or hesitation. The relationship works because Maggie and Adrian challenge the futures other people selected for them. Maggie's father defines success as becoming a lawyer, while Maggie measures it by the difference she makes in children's lives. Queen Patricia defines leadership through tradition, distance, and royal image, while Adrian believes leadership should involve service and human connection. Their romance does not simply bring two people together. It forces both families to recognize that duty means very little when it destroys the person expected to perform it. Maggie also discovers that independence is not the same as rejecting every opportunity offered by others. She refuses her father's interference because she wants control over her life, yet she accepts Patricia's offer because it supports the dream she already chose. Adrian learns something similar. He does not abandon the crown, but he changes what being king will mean. By opening the coronation to the public and continuing his foundation, he proves that tradition can evolve without losing its value. The supporting characters also help reveal what each lead values. Sarah never treats the vacation as a meaningless escape. She keeps pushing Maggie to take emotional risks and listen to herself. Felix protects Adrian's privacy, but he also makes sure Maggie sees the prince's generosity instead of only the tabloid version. Kadia becomes the clearest reflection of Maggie's gift. In a few minutes, Maggie gives the child enough confidence to step onto a stage, something money and royal influence could not accomplish. Even Queen Patricia's change feels earned because it begins when she witnesses the foundation rather than merely hearing Adrian defend himself. The children show her that her son's unconventional choices have already made him a stronger leader. By the time Maggie enters the coronation, she is not returning only for romance. She is choosing a community, work, and a future where she can use both her education and her compassion without surrendering either part of herself. The film ends with Adrian deciding that Maggie is the person he wants beside him for the rest of his life. Maggie has found a career rooted in compassion. Adrian has become a king on his own terms, and Queen Patricia has finally chosen to support her son instead of controlling him. What began as an accidental meeting over a damaged hat becomes a partnership built on honesty, shared purpose, and the courage to choose a life that feels authentic.